Today we are thinking about transitions, especially the transition of young people from high school into college. It's an exciting one for youth and a sad one for their parents. It can feel to parents like we're out of a job and one we've held for 18 or 19 years. Worse, it feels like our hearts are going to be living outside of us, beating outside of us. Anne Lamott, in her book, Some Assembly Required, says, the job of a good parent is to be dispensable. And in fact, she says, it's not morally right to make yourself indispensable. I think the worst thing we can do is take over a child's experience, living through them rather than along with them, to do for rather than to guide through. However, children do need help. It's not good either to leave them to do something that's beyond their capabilities. So our job is to gradually let go over, say, 18 or 19 years. Okay, well, maybe 24 or 30. I'm not sure. Another worst thing we can do, and there's probably a few of them, is to neglect to be there, to be distant, seemingly uncaring. We can't help giving our hearts and minds to our children, and in doing so, we give them the security of knowing that the world is kind and giving, and that they are loved. This allows their desire for independence to flourish, and they decide more and more how much we need to be involved. Being indispensable is one thing, and being there when needed is another. Either way, our ego has to get out of the way. When children are small, it's not that hard to figure out because they're always with you. It's not that we have more control, really, but we are accepted as necessary. But when you have teenagers, you have to be on call, just in case. Of course, no one does it perfectly, because at the same time, you have to wrap your mind and heart around the idea that this child, who has been a part of your waking moments for the last 16, 17, 18 years, will be leaving you very soon. They will begin their own adult life and will be calling on you less and less. Our children fly away in spirit or body to join the adult world, and we can't remain entwined with their lives. We can await news eagerly, rejoice in their victories, and share their sadness at their losses, at least what they're willing to tell us about, reminding them of their strength and of good things to come. Even as we mourn the impending loss of an older child to the world, we also feel the potential for a renewal of our own lives and identity, a chance to perhaps do something just for ourselves or to give to others in some other way. We might secretly or not so secretly look forward to those days when we can enjoy silence or follow our own desires or find something just where we left it last. We might long for the day when our child's troubles don't keep us awake at night. Does that ever come? A child's teenage years are meant to train their parents to do without them, and yet they need us enough that it isn't until they actually leave our home that our role changes from protector and coach to that of witness to the life they now create. What kind of world are we sending them into, though? Demonstrations and riots cover the streets all over our country. We are in the midst of a worldwide pandemic. There is no normal for our children and young adults to live into. The world is in transition and with no clarity about where it is going to end up. One day it seems that new voices are being finally heard, and the next those voices are being silenced by military force. Where is our democracy? Arundhati Roy writes, historically, pandemics have forced humans to break with the past and imagine their world anew. This one is no different. It is a portal, a gateway between one world and the next. We can choose to walk through it, dragging the carcasses of our prejudice and hatred, our avarice, our databanks and dead ideas, our dead rivers and smoky skies behind us. Or we can walk through lightly, with little luggage, ready to imagine another world and ready to fight for it. I also want to share a poem by Lynn Unger, who originally wrote this a few years ago in memory of Eric Garner, but sadly, it is just as relevant today. It's called Breathe. Breathe, said the wind. How can I breathe at a time like this when the air is full of the smoke of burning fires, burning lives? Just breathe, the wind insisted. Easy for you to say if the weight of injustice is not wrapped around your throat, cutting off all air. I need you to breathe. I need you to breathe. Don't tell me to be calm when there are so many reasons to be angry, so much cause for despair. I didn't say to be calm, said the wind. I said to breathe. We are going to need a lot of air to make this hurricane together. I believe we can count on this young generation to make something new and powerful of their lives, whatever they decide to do. I hope they can disrupt the status quo and teach us all to end our foolishness. Today, we celebrate the bridging of Abby Ciavello and Anna Reeling into adulthood. They have blessed this church with their presence and trust for the years of their childhood when they were with us. Now it's time for us to wish them well and send them off into their adult lives. We will be there for them when they need us, and we will enjoy witnessing their unfolding. There is only one thing left to do, and that is bless all of those young people heading out into their independent lives. Here is Blessing the Boats by Lucille Clifton. May the tide that is entering even now the lip of our understanding carry you out beyond the face of fear. May you kiss the wind, then turn from it, certain that it will love your back. May you open your eyes to water, water waving forever, and may you in your innocence sail through this to that. Blessed be, dear ones.